Accounting is an art. At least that's what the textbooks say. The art of recording, classifying, summarizing, and communicating financial transactions. But let's be real, where's the art in this boring subject? The art isn't in data entry, it's in communication. It's taking these complex numbers and making them crystal clear for people who don't speak accountant. Hi everyone, my name is Sardzak. I'm a qualified ACCA professional and I plan to bridge the gap between AI fear and AI FOMO in our industry. Today I'm going to show you how to turn one of the most annoying part of our jobs, client queries, into a masterpiece of efficiency. If you are an accountant, you know where I'm coming from. A bank statement full of cryptic lines that you don't understand. Instead of spending hours trying to manually figure out those lines or just sending a messy version of this to your client, we're going to avoid these and let AI do the heavy lifting. I have a demo bank statement here. This statement is not related to any real client. It's just a typical example I see during reconciliations. Now, even if these statements were real, what I would first do is remove the things that seem like sensitive client information, including the account number. Once I have these removed, I will make the data as concise as possible. Now, this is a typical bank statement line after I've removed the unnecessary columns. I'm looking at this statement and I can see multiple money in and money out transactions, but it's not immediately clear what each transaction is actually for. At this point, I have two options. Option one is to ask the client directly, one by one, what these transactions are. The problem is, this feels low value, repetitive, and time consuming both for me and for the client. Option two, which is much more efficient, is to use Gemini to structure this information properly. What I need to do now is add 3 more additional columns. I then use Gemini to review the transaction descriptions and amounts. What Gemini does is searches relevant information on the web, looks at the common business patterns and gives me practical feedback and suggestions based on what similar transactions usually represent. Using that feedback, I fill in the My Notes and Possible Account section by AI. So what Possible Account headings is basically the chart of accounts for the accounting software that you're working on. So what I first need to do is go into Gemini and type this prompt. You can pause the video and review this prompt, but it will basically ask me questions before it generates the My Notes and Possible Account heading section for me. And I will just answer those for Gemini. You can also feed the possible account headings, and I'm just feeding a random chart of accounts for Gemini. After answering all of the questions, I can just copy this data, which is 80 bank statement lines, into Gemini. And lastly, I can just press the generate command before it generates all of the 80 transactions for me. So within a matter of seconds, Gemini has populated the 2 columns for me, and I can just go to the bottom of this data and press copy table. And once it has been copied to clipboard, I can just paste it to a new untitled spreadsheet. So instead of asking clients vague questions like tell me what this is, I'm asking guided and intelligent questions like bulk purchases are likely for office sundries. So it has been sent to office supplies, and client can send their replies in this column. This way, the client no longer has to interpret raw bank data. They're simply confirming or correcting our suggestions. This is how we bridge the gap. We stop being data processors and we start being advisors. If you want to stop Googling your bank descriptions and start automating your workflow, comment down AI accounting and I will DM you the exact Gemini prompt that I used in this video for free. Stay tuned for part 3.